So first, what we're going to do today is we're going to focus on the buyers and the sellers. The reason that we're going to focus on them is just because of how different things have become and how the market has changed over the last 5 years. When we look back even to 2018, 83% of the time, imagery was named as the most influential factor in a purchasing decision, and 50% of the time, specific solutions were already identified before companies were reaching out to any manufacturers or distributors. We know these numbers have just continued to increase. I've seen some as big as 75% here recently. But the one thing that happened post-COVID was 75% of the first-time digital users, whether those were sellers or buyers, decided they were going to continue using digital channels to buy and sell. And so companies that need to drive interest generation all the way through fulfillment, they have to look for different ways to engage the user when they're going through this research process and keep them engaged and able to generate a quote, an estimate, turn that into an order and fulfill that order. And you might be wondering, well, what images? Yeah, okay, pretty pictures are great, but what's really the significance? As humans, we process images 60,000 times faster than text. This is why we're addicted to our smartphones and social media, and our kids like to play video games. But, this science is the reason why imagery is just so important. So think about how you buy today. If you put something in Google and you've got your first three returned information that comes back, you're going to click on one. And if you don't have what you're looking for in about 5 seconds, you go to the next one. So that's again why this digital significance is important. And we know our manufacturers and distributors are great at manufacturing and distributing. But where there can be some improvements is how do we engage that potential buyer, particularly one that you might not know about already. So understanding who the buyers and the sellers are and what they actually need. So just thinking about, I'm a manufacturer of a wellhead. I sell these directly. I sell them to companies that OEM this particular wellhead in a larger in assembly. I might sell replacement parts. I might sell through dealers and distributors. I also might sell through, manufacturing reps. Right? Because this manufacturing rep is gathering all the pieces and parts for a particular assembly, and maybe my product is one of those components. So if you think about it, the needs of a dealer and distributor who's working with a customer directly in front of them, they have different needs potentially than a manufacturing rep. Your customer service reps, they may be responsible only for things like warranty information, RMAs, if you have that process, or just fulfilling an order or answering specific questions about credit limits and so forth. But other companies, their customer service reps are the ones that take the orders, process the orders, and even assist with final quotations. So they might have the tough job of getting the approvals behind the scenes, going from office to office and sending a ton of emails to try to get a special pricing approved or something. And then you think about sales engineers, and this might be in more of an engineer to order type of situation, or one where there's a specific amount of design as part of this process, that for quoting, for speccing, for selling. And so this sales engineer, they may work for your company, they may not, gets involved in trying to make sure that they have the right fit, right? So these are the 10 things that I want to do, and I want to know whether or not you all have a product that's going to meet that. So instead of saying, I'm going to pick this particular wellhead model number, and I'm going to add these 6 accessories to it, a sales engineer might be saying, all right, I want to move this much material. I want to move it this fast. I want to move it vertically or horizontally. And oh, by the way, this wellhead, the pumps, the assembly is going to be underground. So now I also need to force it upward before it can go anywhere. So there are a lot of different ways that folks want to interact with products, and they want to make sure that they have what it is that they need. They don't want more choices. They just want what they want. And then think about this anonymous user. Right? They're thinking about a new assembly. and engaging with a manufacturing rep, or they're thinking about, a new product, they're doing R&D, but they may be looking for completely different types of things out on your public website to say, am I even going to engage with this company and include them in a possible opportunity? So taking that anonymous user from being anonymous and generating that lead, right? And then perhaps working with that dealer or the manufacturing rep or the sales engineer to create an opportunity. And now you're looking at quoting, estimating, speccing, and then all the way down into an order. So making sure that you understand the experience that potential buyers and sellers may want is the key to understanding what it is that you need to do on your end to help increase your sales and differentiate your brand.